Hey guys, welcome back to Gallivanting Kendall. I'm Kendall Clement. Welcome to all my subscribers, old and new. I truly appreciate your support of my channel. Today we're walking through what I call the fire ladder. It's a strategy that maps out exactly what you should be doing in your 30s, 40s, and your 50s and 60s if you want to retire early and retire in the Philippines. Today, I'm going to cover the people in their 30s and 40s, and next week, we're going to cover everyone in your 50s and 60s. This video is all about giving you a decade by decade game plan in a two-part series so you know where you stand and what to focus on next. So hit like and subscribe, and let's ride. What is FIRE? Here's a quick refresher. FIRE stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. And if you missed my full breakdown on how to calculate your FIRE number, go check out last week's video, Retirement in the Philippines, What's Your FIRE Number? In today's video, we're zooming out and looking at the bigger picture, the timeline, the strategy, what to do with the years between now and that move to the Philippines. Step 1, your 30s. Build, stack, invest. Your 30s are all about setting the foundation. This is your time to maximize income and reduce expenses and develop monetizable skills, especially ones you can use remotely. This is the wealth building decade. You're young enough to take risk. My advice? Don't. Your goal is to retire early. Risk can equal big losses. I have personal experience with this. But do try different income paths and let compound interest do its thing. Most people who start FIRE in their 30s are aiming to be work optional by their 40s or 50s. It's not always about quitting forever. It's about having options. For some, that's a 10-year plan. For others, 20. The goal is freedom, not fantasy. If you're serious about retiring early, aim to save at least 50% of your income or more if you can. For example, if you have $50,000 in income, try to save 50%, which will be $25,000 a year. Use low-fee index funds, Roth IRAs, and high-yield savings, and get those dollars working for you as early as possible. This is also a great time to explore geo arbitrage, where you can earn in a strong currency and live in a lower-cost country. The Philippines is an incredible candidate for this. Even if you don't move yet, remote work is your friend. Build location flexibility now, and you'll thank yourself later. Start building passive income streams. This is also the perfect decade to start laying the groundwork for passive or recurring income, the kind that keeps coming in, whether you're working or not. One of my sources for passive income is in the form of residuals I get every quarter for all the acting jobs I've had over my career. Every time a show or movie I was in airs, I get paid. If you're not an actor, and maybe even if you are, that could mean contributing to retirement accounts, setting up annuities, or building a business around something like a YouTube blog. These can be great sources of passive income. Investing in mutual funds is a great example of low-risk investing that can pay off over time. And by time, I mean a period of years, but not as long as you think, if you pick the right fund. I knew a teacher who started making modest monthly contributions, and within just 4 to 5 years, his mutual fund account had grown to over $250,000. That's a significant amount of money, especially if your goal is to retire abroad. Now, he didn't have just one account, he had several mutual fund accounts, so he was diversified as far as his mutual funds went. I've never forgotten that lesson he taught me. The truth is, I wasn't in a position to follow his example. I'm usually very private about my finances, but I want to share this with you because it might help someone out there who's watching this video. I spent many years living from one financial crisis to the next, always just one step away from disaster. I never wanted to ask for help. My income was pretty low, and although I did invest in a few small ways, my options were very limited. But I remembered what this teacher had taught me, and now I want to pass it on to you because you can do it. You should do it. If you're one of my fellow veterans, it might include VA disability. And if that's you, make sure you're getting everything you're entitled to. And here's a personal experience I had. I bought my first house in my early 20s and another one in my late 30s. In both cases, I saw the equity grow, but I didn't yet have the FIRE mindset. I sold both just to cash in for the profits. Looking back, I realized those were big mistakes. If you own real estate and you're thinking about FIRE, my humble advice is hold on to that property if you can. It can be one of your most powerful long-term income streams. I've got friends here in the Philippines who rent out their U.S. properties and earn steady passive income every single month. They pay a small fee to a property management company, and the rest goes right into their account, minus maintenance and repairs every month. It's a simple, scalable system, and it works. Whatever the source, these income streams can eventually fund your lifestyle and give you the freedom to step away from full-time work on your terms. Heck, even Amway counts if it's working for you. A quick word on risk overseas offers. And what do I mean by that? Try to keep your investments on the low risk side. Again, this is important. We're talking about your retirement here. I've personally seen mutual funds grow substantially over a relatively short period of time. I mention that again because I'm a big fan of mutual funds. And one more thing. When you visit the Philippines, you will be approached regularly. Sales agents will pitch you pre-construction condo deals. Locals might suggest opening a business together. Your maid will pitch you a business opportunity. That actually happened to me. A maid I had at the time asked me if I was interested in going into business with her. My advice? Absolutely not. Do not get involved in any kind of business partnerships or real estate deals here in the Philippines while you're still figuring things out. And I hate to say it, but even after you've been here, be very, very cautious about going into business with Filipinos. I have friends who have been burned, and one of them I'm going to do a YouTube video with. You'll hear his story about getting involved with a piggery, which is a popular business here, and it can pay. But he got involved with some in-laws and lost a lot of money. The figure $30,000 comes to mind somehow. I'll have to double check with him. So just keep all your business dealings in the U.S. or your home country until you've been here several years and you're grounded and you have a real support system. And by that, I don't just mean your wife and her family. I'm talking about a close circle of trusted friends who become your Philippines family. That might include fellow expats, longtime residents, and yes, some Filipinos too. But until then, keep your business stateside or in your home country. If you're investing, keep it in the U.S. or keep it in your home country until you've got your bearings here. If you decide later to buy a condo for personal use, which is the only kind of property you can own as a foreigner, that's fine, that's great. You can always Airbnb it out when you're not here. But until then, protect your capital like it's your passport to freedom, because it is. Here's a side hustle tip. Launch a freelance service. YouTube channel, online course, anything scalable. You don't have to be a coder or a tech bro anymore to make money remotely. If you build income streams in your 30s, you may never again need a job, especially if you geo arbitrage. Step 2, Your 40s, refine, eliminate, experiment. This is your optimization decade. You probably have more clarity now. Maybe a career track, a partner, kids, or maybe not. Either way, it's time to get strategic. Your mission in your 40s is to refine your FIRE number and eliminate debt. If in your 40s you've managed to pay off your house or your condo, great, keep it. You may not decide until just before your move whether to sell and take a lump sum or keep it and rent it out. Real estate management companies charge very little to manage income properties, so that's something you might want to think about as being one of your sources of passive income. Simplify your lifestyle. Start testing your future plan. If you haven't already, this is the time to do a serious audit of your finances. Look at every line item, and I mean every line item, every debt and every subscription. Trim the fat. Plug the leaks, like I talked about in the short I released last week. These are those small expenses that seem harmless but quietly add up to potentially hefty amount on a monthly basis. Now's also the time to envision your actual retirement lifestyle. Would you live in Dumaguete, Makati, a beach town, the province, a condo or a house, a big city, or island life? I recommend taking a scouting trip or 2 or 3 or 5 or 6 to the Philippines in your 40s. Visit a few different locations. Talk to expats and locals alike. Start following vloggers who live in some of the locations you have in mind. There are American, British, European, and really vloggers from every Western country all over the Philippines. This isn't a vacation. This is research, but it will be fun. And if your nest egg's not where you want it to be, don't panic. If you're 45 and your goal was to have it done by now, maybe you just need to add a few more years of work. If you've been living a FIRE mindset for the last 10 years, chances are you're very, very close by the time you hit 45. So if you're a little bit behind, maybe you just need to put it off for another 3 years. Don't get depressed. If you've been living the FIRE principles for a good period of time, then make some adjustments and you can still make it happen. Next Thursday, don't miss part 2 of our FIRE ladder videos. We're going to help you with FIRE advice if you're in your 50s and 60s. If you feel you've got value out of this video, hit like and subscribe. And as always, take care of each other and give somebody a great day.